Well, good evening, friends and neighbors. I hope everyone is having a great Wednesday night. And we are here. And again, yesterday was my wife's birthday, so I just focused on her for the entire day. So that's why I wasn't here last night. But we're here tonight, and man, we got some catching up to do because, as we know, yesterday morning or sometime during the earlier hours in the morning, the Hinman documents were revealed. They were publicly disclosed, and everyone's been doing YouTube videos and stuff about it. I've done videos about it, or a video about it. Have been talking about it, but I wanted to come on and share with you guys. And those of you who are watching in the replay, please let me know you were here. Dojo fam, F-A-M. That way I know you watch this. And hopefully we'll get a little bit of insight on what's going on and maybe where we're headed. So let's kind of dig into this a little bit. And I am going to, as we do this, I just want to give another couple of seconds. I'm going to have a sip of water. And then we're just going to dive right in. But never dive into water head first if you don't know how deep it is, because that could be a bad thing. Public service announcement. So, all right. So here we go. So, the Hinman documents finally have been disclosed, and quite honestly, it really wasn't any sort of major bombshell or anything that really made me go, holy crap, this is really going to make a big, huge difference in this case. I didn't get that. We got little pieces of things, but nothing really of any major substance, which I guess, I kind of had possibly suspected this would happen. I didn't think anything of any, like, earth-shattering news would have come of it, because I think probably the SEC would have fought harder, or whatever happened, they would have maybe fought a little bit more, but they didn't. So we got what we got. The biggest thing out of this disclosures were basically Mr. Hinman, who was the former chief of the SEC, like the financial division anyway, basically said let me back up a little bit. So essentially what these documents were internal memos, emails, correspondence with Mr. Hinman and those within the SEC regarding a speech that he conducted in 2018 for like a Yahoo financial summit. And there were different versions going around, but the one that really stood out, and the remarks that basically stood out the most, was when he had disclosed that he felt that that Ethereum anyway was sufficiently decentralized that a crypto could start off launching as more of a security, and then through time, which he really didn't give any specifics, he was really ambiguous, could change to more of a commodity or not a security. So the biggest thing that we got out of those documents were that he felt Ethereum was sufficiently decentralized, that cryptos can start off. And we're also going to talk about, too, in a second, the Howey test and what constitutes a security. And most of us know this already, but I'm going to just reiterate it again. There's like 4 parts. But he was saying, that sufficiently centralized, it could launch that way, and it could morph and change in time. So, hey, Juan, what's going on, man? Nice to see you. Not too many of us here right now. There's 3 of us total, but I'm glad you made it. It's hot here in Florida. I'm kind of going over the Hinman documents and what's going on with that, and we're going to dig into a few different areas here. So basically the Howey test. The Howey test is what the what the SEC uses to determine if an investment is a security. So the first one is basically anyone can invest. Right? You're investing money. All right, that's the first part. You're investing money. You can invest money. I can, our friends can, our family members can. Anyone can invest into a common investment. So it's something that is, again, it's common. It's not unique. Anyone can invest in it. So you're investing money into where it's common, where everybody can invest. And the reason you do that is to have an expectation of profit. So when we invest in something, right, we don't invest to put money in and lose money or to just sit idle. We want to make money from it. So the third part of the Howey test is we're expecting a return on our investment, ROI. Again, this is why a lot of crypto companies don't want everyone talking about ROI, because when they do that, that fits the criteria, one of the criteria of the Howey test. So number 3 is basically a return on investment. And the fourth part of the Howey test, and we really need to know this so that way we're kind of educated and so we can kind of determine, because there are cryptos out there, whether we want to admit it or not, that could absolutely be considered securities. And the fourth one is basically where you are getting the profits. Your expectation of profit is coming off of other people. Board of directors, owner, whomever. They are responsible for the profits that you want to receive. They're identifiable. It could be a person or persons. It can be more than one. It could be several. That's where it gets. So let me back up. So again, you're investing money into a common investment, whatever, with an expectation of profit, getting that profit through the efforts of someone else who's more like a centralized, identifiable person or persons running the show. Those are the 4 criteria of the Howey test. Most cryptos fall into the first 3. 1, we're investing money. All right. 2, it's something that everybody can invest in. 3, we're expecting to make a profit. We want to make a profit. The fourth part is where it gets dicey, where it gets, a little convoluted, is who is the leader, the owner, board of directors, developer, whomever that is doing the work for us to make the profit. 1, 2, and 3, dare I say, pretty much every crypto hits all 3 of the first 3 criteria. It's the last one, and that's one of the biggies, right? So if you can identify who is running the show, it's like anything. It's like buying stock. Okay, I'm investing money in stock. Everybody can invest money in the stock market. Maybe it's whatever kind of stock it is. Who knows? It could be anything. Apple. All right, we got it. We put money into Apple. Everyone can invest into Apple stock. We are expecting at some point to make a return on our investment or to make a profit through the efforts of back when Steve Jobs or Steve Wozniak or whoever it is now. Okay? We expected them to do all the heavy lifting and we just sit back and reap the rewards. That is a security by the SEC, and that came across back in the 1930s or early 40s. So this is where crypto exchanges need to be very careful, because especially with Binance and with Coinbase. Now, Coinbase has stated that they basically 90% of the cryptos that apply to get listed on the Coinbase exchange get rejected due to the fact of their, the strong centralization of the crypto that's applying, which means that the likelihood of them being labeled as security. So Coinbase is saying that they reject 90% of those applications that come through their desk. Here lies the rub. In the case against against Coinbase, if the SEC can prove, and if there's any lawyers watching this, maybe I'm wrong, can prove that Coinbase has listed a project that meets all 4 criteria, they could be in some deep shit, because now they've let a token in or a project in that hits all 4 criterias of the Howey test. So now they would be considered like a broker or a dealer, okay? And that's the thing. So Coinbase is saying they're not. We're going to find out. So in regards to Invest, so in regards to what we're dealing with right here, right now, I think that the judge will make a determination before, I'm thinking the end of summer into September, maybe early October, the latest, but I think this will be all done and over with by September sometime. This is monumental in crypto in the United States. This sets the tone, this sets the pace. This creates a framework for the SEC and the government and for us to go by or to be ruled by. If the SEC loses this case, it damages all their cases, which in my mind, because I think right now the majority of the reason we're in this bear market is all this heavy regulation by enforcement. And yeah, sure, we have everything going on with the economy. And of course, we know that Jerome Powell came out, said they weren't raising interest rates this time. They're keeping it as is, which is good for now. Great. That they're probably going to be raising it in the future, but this time around they're not raising rates, so that's something good. But I think a lot of the climate that we're in now with crypto is due to the heavy threats of unrestrained regulation by enforcement. So if the SEC wins, we're heading on the dark side of the force. So now if Ripple were to come out and win, I think that shifts gears tremendously, which could start propelling us in a positive forward momentum going towards a bull cycle. That's just my view. A settlement, if they settle, I think it does more good for us than it does for the SEC. So we're going to have to see what happens with that. But if you are here, let me know you are here. Hey, Sal. And so we are talking about the Hinman documents. I've been talking about them for weeks, right? We've been talking. I didn't do it yesterday, and as you know, guys, I didn't come on. My wife's birthday was yesterday, and I was just spending some quality time with her. And but today I did a video. If you haven't checked out my YouTube video, go do it after the live stream. Tell me what you think. So yeah, go Ripple. But there really wasn't anything cataclysmic one way or the other today with these documents. I think Ripple is going to try to spread some confusion. I think that's one of the tactics they're going to be working towards, because there really wasn't anything definitive in those documents, except for that Mr. Hinman, I guess, was speaking on something he didn't know really anything about, which really wasn't accurate, which, according to Ripple, created more FUD, created more uncertainty, and created more confusion. And I think that's one of the tactics they're going to use, is because the SEC doesn't know. They have no idea, right? So that's where we stand at this juncture with that. I'm going to have a sip of water. And we still can't get your Gala off of MetaMask? Really? Why not? If you have the correct Gala, all you need is an address to where you want to send it, pay your gas fees, and you should be good, right? What is not working? Let us know. Post in the comment section and let us know what's going on with that. Maybe collectively we can help kind of find a solution for you. So, but yeah, guys. So how's everyone doing this evening? It was sort of anticlimactic. I was actually hoping for something greater. I guess maybe more grandiose, a little bit more definitive, but it was blah in my view. Now, I'm not a lawyer, so what's blah to me may be like, oh yeah, we got him. So, man. So that's kind of where I'm thinking, but it really wasn't anything extraordinary, like earth-shattering, even though we did see a slight pump when the news broke. But as of earlier today, Ripple was down almost about 4.8%. So I think once word got out that there really wasn't much in these documents, people were disappointed. And that's why we're seeing that kind of pullback now, I think. I haven't checked in a while. I'm not sure where we are, but let me look real fast. Let's take a look and see how Ripple is doing. And I was using the 24-hour chart, guys. So let's take a look. Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? RP. All right, so we are down. We're about where we were this morning. A little under 5% down. So we're kind of staying consistent at the moment. So we'll see what happens. I don't really see that fluctuating too much. I think it'll go crazy once we find out if the judge is going to come out and state that on this day she's going to give her decision. Then I think it'll be like the Wild West with Ripple. I tell you that. And this is the reason why I didn't purchase Ripple, because of the so much volatility going on that because anything comes out, any little thing negative, and I also believe, and this is just my thoughts, if Ripple loses this case, could be the end of Ripple. They've got a lot riding on this. So I am hoping that, it kind of goes our way. We'll see. They're expecting. There was actually a statistic out. I don't know where they got it, where they said that Ripple has a 25% chance of winning their case, whereas SEC has 5%. Where the hell they got those numbers from, and what happened to the other 70%? Was it undecided? Is kind of. I'm curious. I don't know, but unless they really did a very small focus group and then we got from there. But okay, let me know you're here. If you guys are here, pop in, say hi. The more the merrier here. We're talking about the Bill Hinman documents that were disclosed yesterday. Made a public disclosure that the Judge Torres required a SEC to do. And I also found, and this is something, so I'm going to get on my soapbox a little bit here. I think. Now, this is really interesting because also Gary Gensler with his shenanigans and what he does, he had came out and basically said, because they're trying to distance himself from Mr. Hinman. They're trying to he's a crackpot and he doesn't know what he's talking about. And Gary Gensler came out and basically said that, well, he shouldn't have said because he was speaking for himself and not the agency. Well, that's bull jive, because this is what Gary Gensler did when he was asked multiple times, and this just shows you a couple of things. But he was asked a couple of times in his testimony in Congress if he believed that Ethereum was a security, and he didn't answer. He refused. He had three times he was asked, and he would not answer the question. He was deflecting. So now, what we're happening here, and those are kind of the dogs, my crypto dogs in the background, guys. Sorry about that. We're running live and uncensored here. So what's happening is that he is taking what he did, which is deflecting, and putting it on this chairman, saying that this was his own opinions and not speaking for the agency and all that kind of stuff. Well, first off, he actually spoke, Mr. Hinman. This was at a Yahoo financial summit back in 2018, where they were talking about crypto. They weren't talking about a vacation. They weren't talking about how his kids are doing in school, or did you get the oil change today. He was speaking in a professional manner, on a professional forum, communicating his beliefs about Ethereum. So, how is that speaking for yourself? Because I'm sure he got paid for it, or there was some compensation. He was asked, and he said, hey, blah, 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 blah. Ethereum is sufficiently decentralized. But he didn't go into specifics of what that is. And that's the thing. See, this is where it gets kind of ambiguous, because what does that mean, sufficiently decentralized? Now, Bitcoin, we know. I mean, Bitcoin is the poster child for decentralization. And I think Ethereum is not that far behind. I think if we knew who created Bitcoin, it'd be a whole different story. But because no one knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is, it's like how... And he just created it, and that was it. He just stepped away. So if he would have been known, this one I think would have been a whole different story. Then Bitcoin would be involved. So how he came up with being sufficiently decentralized, I really would like to know. I think a lot of other people like to know, but he didn't communicate that to anyone. So we don't know. I mean, maybe at some point, because he's still alive, maybe somebody will get him on an interview, or he'll be questioned, called to Congress or something, subpoenaed, I don't know, and sat down and say, what did you mean when you said that Ethereum was sufficiently decentralized? That, it really is not a security. I would like to hear that. I think that would be really interesting to hear his rationale. So that's that whole situation. But the whole thing of not speaking for the agency, give me a break. That's ludicrous. When Gary Gensler sat in front of Congress, he wasn't representing himself. He kept saying, I'm representing myself. No one gives a shit if you're representing yourself. You're not here for yourself. You were not called for your opinion. You were here to speak on behalf of the SEC. So stop saying that you're speaking for yourself, because you're not. You're in an official capacity speaking for the agency. So there we go. That's my little rant about that. So what I want to know is how everybody is doing. Let me know you're here. So right now we got 5 people on board right now, which is great, and I'm glad you guys can make it. Appreciate you guys very much for being here. I'm going to have a little sip of water. Still have Gala on MetaMask. I'm still trying to figure that out, of why that's the case. I don't know. And of course, we know that today the Fed decided not to raise interest rates. They're keeping them as is for the time being. That could change in a couple of months, though. But right now, they've decided to keep everything sort of like the status quo. They like where things are going, and so they're just going to let things ride for now. But they're not ruling out raising them in the future. I think this is just a minor reprieve. I think we're going to go back to it, and I think they meet again when in September, I believe it is. I think. September, October, I think, when they meet again. If I'm wrong, let me know. But, or maybe even August. I'm not sure. So let me know kind of what you guys think about that. And I hope everyone's having a great day. It is hot here in Florida. Crazy hot. Yeah, so Gary, the only person that could fire Gary is, I see a lot of this signing on like with YouTube, like God, signing petitions and getting kicked out. Only the president can kick him out. All right, no one, or if he's impeached. Other than that, he's not, he can't get fired. No one has that authority to fire him. I wish, because I think he really needs to go. I think it's, and especially when you see, if you've seen any of his when he was a college professor, there's footage of him talking about crypto in a positive light. What changed since 2019? Oh, that's right. He didn't get hired on as an advisor for Binance. That's right. Okay, now I got it. That he actually went to London and sat down with CZ and had lunch. That's right. I think it was London. It was somewhere. Talking about the possibility of, being an advisor for Binance. And then he got this job and everything sort of changed. So do me a favor, everyone, hit that like button. Let me know you're here. And again, I hope everyone's having a great day, doing something nice for yourselves, for your families. Looks like some of the cryptos are coming up a little bit. Gala seems to be on a slow trend upward, which is good. At least it was earlier today, so that's always positive. Be nice to get that back up there again. I'd be happy with 3 cents right now. Oh, I'm talking about ROI. How dare I? So who else is here? Again, let me know that you're here. Hit that thumbs up if you can. Let me know where you're from. If this is your first time here, let me know this is your first time. We're all friends on this channel and on these live streams. We are all here a family. What? Gafal? I have no idea. I've never heard of that before. I don't know what Gafal is. I'm not sure. But don't take the word of people. Go do your research. That's what I'm going to tell you. Go do your own research. Don't take the word of anyone. Don't buy into any project just because someone said it's going to go big. And then 5 seconds later, as soon as you get in, the bottom drops out. And then whatever you invested is all gone. So never take the word of anyone else. Always, I mean, it's nice to get ideas and you can get turned on to projects from people. Absolutely. Oh, you mean Gala. Gala. Yes, it is. I've done so many videos on Gala. All you have to do is go to my playlist for Gala, and I'll see you in about 3 days because there's so many videos. I did so many videos about Gala talking about what it is, and it's fact, it's documentation. It could give you an idea. Oh, we'll compete with Gala? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure. I'd have to look it up. Let me I'm going to make a note just to go check it out and see what it is. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. It's okay to invest in more than one project. You know, don't feel you're being disloyal. If you have one project, you invest in another. It's okay. Oh, nice. Well, good job. I hope you got them parked someplace nice and safe, though, so that way you're not running the risk either in a software wallet or a hardware wallet or someplace where you don't even have to worry about it. Nice. So I came in like gangbusters, and we were talking about the SEC documentation by Bill Hinman, former SEC like finance chief, and I'm sure as the days and weeks continue on, we're gonna see more. Oh, good. Okay, we're gonna see more of things maybe coming out and different things happening. I don't think there's much left. Unless something changes, I think Judge Torres has everything that she needs. I think anyway. I don't know. And now we just sit back and wait and see what happens. I'm going to dig into that a little bit more. But you know what, guys? Sometimes live streams can go on if there's a lot, but I really wanted to come in and be laser focused on talking about this. This is very important. We all need to kind of keep our eyes peeled for the days and weeks coming up in the next few months. They're going to be interesting. So I'm going to let you guys go. Have a great evening. I will be back tomorrow. Don't worry, at 7:30. And be good to yourselves and be good to each other. I'll talk to you guys soon.